Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the P0130 code. This code means that there is a problem with the oxygen sensor in your vehicle's exhaust system. Specifically, it's the one located in Bank 1, Sensor 1. Now, what does this mean for you? Well, your vehicle has multiple oxygen sensors in its exhaust system that monitor how much oxygen is in the exhaust gases before and after the catalytic converter. This helps the engine control module, also known as the ECM, adjust the air-fuel mixture for a more efficient burn. So, if your vehicle has a problem with any of these sensors, it will trigger the check engine light and cause a variety of drivability issues. So let's talk about what some of the common causes are for a P0130 code. A faulty oxygen sensor in your vehicle's exhaust system is the most likely culprit. These sensors are known to go bad after 100,000 miles or so, especially if you frequently drive in areas with high humidity. Another possibility is damaged or corroded wiring in the vehicle's O2 sensor circuit. This can happen if the wiring harness is rubbing against something in the engine bay, or if it's exposed to excessive heat or moisture. It's also possible that you could have an exhaust leak somewhere near the sensor, which is throwing off the readings. Or there could be a vacuum leak in the intake manifold, or a problem with the fuel pressure regulator, which can also set off the code. Lastly, in rare cases, it could be a bad ECM, but this is more likely to happen in older or high-mileage vehicles. Now, what are some of the symptoms that you might see if your vehicle has a P0130 code? Of course, the most obvious symptom is the check engine light, or CEL, coming on in your vehicle's dashboard. You might also notice that your vehicle idles roughly or hesitates when accelerating, especially when the engine is cold. And you may also see a decrease in your vehicle's fuel efficiency. In addition, you might notice black smoke or a sulfur smell coming from your vehicle's exhaust. And in some cases, you might experience occasional stalling or misfires when you start your vehicle. So let's go over some of the solutions you can try to fix a P0130 code. First and foremost, you want to replace the Bank 1, Sensor 1, oxygen sensor. This is the one that's located closest to the engine on the exhaust manifold. You should also inspect the wiring and connectors in the sensor circuit to make sure there's no damage or corrosion. If you find any problems, you'll need to repair or replace the wiring as needed. Next, you want to check for exhaust or vacuum leaks in your vehicle's intake and exhaust systems. A leak can cause the engine to run too rich, which can trigger the oxygen sensor to activate the check engine light. Once you've inspected all the hoses and connections, you can try tightening any loose clamps or replacing any faulty hoses. You may also want to test and inspect your vehicle's ECM. Again, this is more likely to be an issue in older or high-mileage vehicles, but it's still worth checking if your vehicle is relatively new. Lastly, let's talk about how you can test for a P0130 code and what you should look for specifically. First, you can scan your vehicle with an OBD-II tool to confirm that you have a P0130 code. You can then clear the code and see if it comes back. If it does, then you know that you have a problem with your Bank 1, Sensor 1 oxygen sensor or its wiring. Next, you can monitor the live data from the O2 sensor while your vehicle is running. With a scan tool, you should see the voltage fluctuating between 0.1 volt and 0.9 volt. If the voltage is stuck at 0.1 volt, then your sensor may be bad. If the voltage is fluctuating too much or is not within the normal range, then there may be a problem with the wiring or a component in the circuit. You can also visually inspect the wiring on your vehicle for any signs of damage or corrosion. If you notice any problems, you can repair or replace the wiring as needed. Additionally, you can test the heater circuit in the oxygen sensor using a multimeter. With the vehicle turned off, you should see a resistance of around 11 ohms. If your reading is higher or lower than this, then your oxygen sensor may be faulty and need replacing. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video. We hope it was helpful for you.